You're back for more? Then let's get into Dragons Race to the Edge, Episode 3. Hey guys, it's Morgan Stradling, and I'm back with Episode 3 of our recap series, Dragons Race to the Edge. So we had our two-part episode, and if you want, I'll include a link down below so you can check that out. And now we're reviewing Episode 3, which is entitled Imperfect Harmony. So with this, we are starting off where we left in Episode 2. Hiccup and the gang have the dragon eye, and they have projected it onto the wall, and they're able to see all sorts of things. What does this mean? Hieroglyphics. And eventually they all come to the conclusion, this is a map. These show other worlds. This is in a language we don't even understand. They realize very quickly that this goes beyond the boundaries of the archipelago, which they've never gone before, and this is huge for Hiccup because Hiccup has this desire to go and to search and explore and hasn't really had much luck, but with this map it is the key to making that happen. But of course everything in Berk has to go with the council and the leaders, and so before they can go on their journey the council has to approve it. And I love this moment because there's dissenters and they're saying no way, do you remember what happened last time? And then Stoic says, you know what, do you remember us? Do you remember way back when we were fighting and this happened and did we stop? No, we went and we pushed it. And I just really love this moment because at first when Stoic was talking, Hiccup was like, oh great, okay, he's just gonna put his foot down, here we go. That's my horrible Hiccup voice. But then he realizes his dad has his back. Stoic says, hey, here's the thing, whether we give them approval or not, they're going to go and leave and explore, so we might as well support them in this. Yeah. And then we are riding in the air with Hiccup and the Dragon Gang, and Hiccup is saying, yeah, this great adventure, and it's not loud, it just says, blah, 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 why do you have to make a production out of everything? And it's just kind of funny because it's kind of true. Hiccup is our narrator. He needs to say things to help the audience better understand, but you could imagine how this comes off to the other dragon riders. Blah, 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 blah. So very quickly they say, okay, fine, let's ride. And they ride 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 and nothing. And people are starting to get discouraged. People are getting tired. Dragons are getting tired. And they start going through this rainstorm. And people are like, we should go back. This isn't good. We should go back. And luckily, Hiccup says, no, let's push through this storm and see what's on the other end. On the other end, we realize we've made it. There's all these other islands with dragons. Woohoo! They have arrived. They hop on an island and they want to take a break, but then when they wake up after their nap, they realize, all the dragons are gone. So Hiccup says, don't worry, I'm gonna go find the dragons, and he flies away. As soon as he flies away, another dragon, a Thunderdrum, comes in and the dragon riders are in trouble. So Hiccup has to come back, save the day, and then he's like, okay, well, I'm gonna leave again, and you guys just stay here. And they say, no, that's not okay. And so they have to go together. Friendship. So this is where the real meat of the episode comes, and by meat I mean the action. So they go and they start fighting, and of course one thing is that it makes your enemies so they can't really hear. And so the whole Dragon Gang couldn't really hear what was going on. They had to yell, which was some pretty funny moments. So before they head off, they find just a pile of dragon bones, and that's very ominous because dragons in themselves are very capable. They can handle being on their own, and to just see a giant mountain of bones makes you very, very scared as to what caused those bones to be there. So then we realize that the culprit is this death song. It's just a really funny moment because they all say, oh, okay, he immobilizes his enemies by playing this song, and then Fishlegs is like, oh, okay, let's name it. And they're like, what? Like, we don't have time to name this right now, like, we are being attacked. But eventually, not per Fishlegs' recommendation, they call it Death Song because when you hear it, you die. So they realize that once the amber-like substance that the Death Song has put on the dragons has hardened, there is nothing you can do to get rid of it. You can't break it, you can't dissolve it, you can't do anything. However, Hiccup realizes, okay, it only happens when it's cool, so let's do the opposite of cool and heat this up. Very funny moments during this scene, but ultimately they're able to take the Death Song, trap him away, and lock him in there for good. But they realize, okay, everyone needs to get off this island, including the Thunderdrum and the baby Thunderdrum, which I thought was so cute. And so then they fly away. Before the episode ends, they say, okay, well, we can't go back to Berk because it's way too far away. We can't be flying back and forth every day. We need a home base. So they find a new island to be headquarters, and this is going to be the launching pad for all future episodes. So in my last review, I mentioned how I really liked the narrative of this season. And to be honest, I didn't like episode 3 as much as 1 and 2. 1 and 2 I thought was just so well done. It really had me, at the edge of my seat. It was so suspenseful. But this episode, episode 3, sort of felt like a bad guy of the week episode that you might find in old TV series and cartoons where every episode there's a new bad guy, boom. And I'm not sure it's going to end up this way, it's too soon to speak, but it felt like this was like Dragon of the Day. What's that Pokemon? Where every episode we are going to be introduced to a new dragon. I don't really think it's going to go that way, but this episode felt kind of like a step back, but that's totally fine. The most important part to me is that the team got to this new area and now we're able to spring forward from there. So I don't think they're just going to be hopping from island to island every episode finding new dragons. I think there is going to be some sort of bad guy or villain or antagonist who comes in the way, who kind of disrupts their plans to search for dragons, which is what they basically want to do. Okay guys, let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. What is your favorite part of this episode? Did you like the new dragon, the death song? How do you think that compares to the snow wraith? Alright guys, be sure to subscribe. I have episode 4 coming at ya. Until then, I'm Morgan and this is the Rotoscopers YouTube.